Well, hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm Bobbie. This is Bobbie Reads Tarot, and today, you guys, I am going to do the highly requested Clarence Thomas video. Let's look at what's going on with Clarence Thomas. So Clarence Thomas is a Supreme Court justice. When he was going through his confirmation hearings, there was a lot of drama going on about the way that he treated people, women, and specifically there was a woman named Anita Thomas, or Anita, okay, I cannot for the life of me remember her last name, but anyway, so she testified against him. Now, Clarence Thomas is connected to a lot of different organizations. He's a big part of, because he, I believe, converted to Catholicism. There's a really good book called Opus, and it's about the Catholic group Opus Dei. And in my opinion, allegedly for entertainment purposes only, I think he's part of that group. That group has pretty much determined every Supreme Court justice we've had for a long time. So let's take a look at Clarence Thomas. As always, my readings are for entertainment purposes only. Please do your own research, form your own opinions, and don't be mean to one another in the comment section down below. And don't be mean to me. It's just rude, okay? Okay, if you don't like me, just go somewhere else. Click off the video. For those that do like me, let's get going. Okay, so the first thing I want to look at is I want to look at Clarence Thomas' general energy for the remainder of his time in the Supreme Court. Let's take a look and see what that's going to look like, okay? We have King of Cups. Oh, we have the Tower. We have King of Wands. We have the Moon. We have the Five of Cups reversed. Nine of Cups. Page of Wands. High Priestess. Ace of Cups reversed. Four of Wands reversed. Okay, so the energy is King of Cups. King of Cups, I feel like this is the people who have helped put him where he is, put him into power. This is all of the, and this is also all of the people who have, you know, given him lavish vacations that he didn't report, or have given him kickbacks or bribes. I'm sure for you know, allegedly, he has taken bribes. So this is him basically living this life of, I'm getting all of this support. And this is also the card of like a diplomat. It's a diplomatic card. So this would ring true for him. He's not a diplomat, but he's in government, essentially. His challenge is the Tower. So there are things that are going to come crashing down. And we're going to look and see if he's in the Epstein files, according to tarot. But things are not going to go well for him, okay? Things are not going to go well for him. The energy he's coming from is this King of Wands energy. And this is very tyrannical energy. It's exerting your will on everyone else, whether they want it or not. And this is very much his energy. But the other thing about the King of Wands that's very interesting is that it can also indicate that there's a time restriction, like your time is almost up. And I'm wondering if his time is almost up, because the energy of where he's going is this Moon energy. And the Moon is things that we don't see. It's changes. This can be a crisis of faith. There's a lot of crazy energy going on for Clarence Thomas, and it's yet to even be revealed. He doesn't even know how this story, you know, is going to go for him. Now, the aim or the destiny, we have Five of Cups reversed. First, I feel like this is a lot of what Clarence Thomas has probably inflicted on other people, okay? This is grief. This is heartbreak. This is mourning. This is suffering, and this is loss. But I also believe that this is going to be what he is going to reap, okay? This is his destiny. This is where he's going. Now, when the Five of Cups is reversed, it does talk about starting to build back, an opportunity to build back. So, you know, it might not be the end for Clarence Thomas. He may somehow recover. I doubt that, but this is an interesting card. This could also be him kind of learning, I guess, maybe what he doesn't see coming or what he doesn't want to acknowledge. I think this is what he doesn't want to acknowledge, and this is his big ego. And with this Nine of Cups energy, with the Moon energy, and with the High Priestess energy, you know, we keep getting these readings where we're going into the where we're going into this divine feminine energy. And I'm wondering if the divine feminine energy isn't what's going to take him down. Something else that's really interesting is this Nine of Cups could actually be his wife, Ginny. This could be her doing something he doesn't see coming, but there's something with Ginny popping into the scene, okay? Now, the energy is the Page of Wands, and the Page of Wands is communication issues, communication errors. So this could be some issues with communication, but this is also news coming in. He could get some good news. So there, right now, he might be, because we're looking at his energy kind of right now and then moving through the rest of his time with the Supreme Court. So I'm wondering if they aren't going to try to protect him in some weird way, or if he's just getting news right now that looks good for him, but you know, we're looking at the current energy, so we don't know. Maybe there's something that's going to change for him in the future. For the environment, it's all about the High Priestess. Now, High Priestess is a very, very high spiritual connection. I'm going to say something kind of woo-woo and kind of conspiracy theory-ish. You guys know I've said this before. The government is just kind of like a sham, right? They're like the puppets or the performative, what we look at, but really the people that are really running things are the wealthy global elite, okay? I firmly believe that Clarence Thomas is part of that group. He's on the inside of that group. And I firmly believe that those people have access to things that we don't know about, right? They keep secrets. Secrets are kept from us. I'm sure the wealthy elite know about aliens, know about being able to harness our individual strength and power. All of that stuff has been basically taken away or not taught. It's been hidden from us. It's hidden knowledge. But I feel like Clarence Thomas has access to that, and that is what he is using. And I don't know what that looks like, and I know it sounds kind of woo-woo, you guys, but I really firmly believe it. Hopes and fears. Well, the hope is that, he's going to be able to continue getting offers, being able to live the life he's living. The fear is that the cup is going to run dry and there's not going to be anything else. This could be rejection. We're being rejected from the group. Final outcome, we have the Four of Wands reversed. Now, I've talked about this in a lot of different videos too, so I'm not going to go into like the whole thing, but we've been looking at a lot of these cards and a lot of what's going on, and we keep getting this energy of it's a rite of passage. It's supposed to happen. We're right where we need to be because we need to see the breakdown of our systems, because our systems do not work. They are unjust and they are oppressive, and it's time that they change. And the only way they can change is through, a catastrophic fall. Nothing is going to change unless it's forced to change. All right. So I do feel like what's Clarence Thomas is part of this like bigger picture of what's going on. Okay. So I'm going to move these out of the way. And now I want to look at Clarence Thomas's association with Jeffrey Epstein. Let's look at Clarence Thomas's association with Jeffrey Epstein. What do we have? Clarence Thomas's association. Was he part of it? Have you guys seen, is he like on any of the flight logs or anything? I haven't even looked. Okay. Clarence Thomas's association with Jeffrey Epstein. We have the Two of Cups reversed. We have the Two of Swords reversed. Okay. That's too many cards, please, Spirit. Can we get one more card, please? One more card. Okay, we got two. No, that's three. That's too many. One card, one card. One card, Spirit. One card. One card, Clarence Thomas, Jeffrey Epstein. Oh my God. And we got, okay. You guys, this is insanity. Two, two, two. They're all reversed. Okay. We're going to start off here. Clarence Thomas, it's funny because there's a black man, and Jeffrey Epstein did have a connection. They did have a partnership or some kind of a relationship. Now, one thing I will say is that this might not necessarily be Clarence Thomas and Jeffrey Epstein at first. There may have been a woman that introduced them. So it could have gone through Ghislaine Maxwell or some other woman, okay? Or perhaps his wife. This could also be his wife. Now we have the Two of Cups reversed. So this is an imbalance in a relationship or relationship stress, misunderstandings. With all of these twos reversed, I feel like they had a falling out or a separation, okay? So I do feel like Clarence Thomas moved away from Epstein before Epstein went to jail, okay? But this Two of Cups is an imbalance in a relationship. This could mean if there's a power imbalance, one person has something on the other. So this could be Epstein having something on Thomas. Now we have the Two of Swords reversed. The Two of Swords is about deception and being blind to manipulation. So there was manipulation in the relationship. And again, it's probably Epstein having dirt on Clarence Thomas, you know, setting him up, taking video, taking a picture, and then having that on him. The Two of Swords, when it's reversed, it's also not wanting to see or being blind, not being able to see things very clearly. But all of these twos are choices that Clarence Thomas had to make. And I believe that the choice he made was to separate himself. And looking at all of these twos, you know, it makes me think of like this idea of duality, right? Karma. There's light, there's dark, there's happy, there's sad, there's good, there's evil. So there's like, I definitely believe that two sides to Clarence Thomas. I don't think either side is great, but I do think that there are two sides. And I think one of those sides, for entertainment purposes only, is probably a monster. Then we have the Two of Wands reversed. And the Two of Wands reversed is, it's being impatient. There's some kind of impatience that happened here, or some kind of a rush. This can also be no longer making plans. The Two of Wands upright is about making plans. It's accomplishment. It's like looking ahead to the future. But this Two of Wands is like, not, I'm wondering, ooh, if he wasn't part of the, you know, if he didn't have previous, or, you know, what's the word I'm looking for? Like knowledge of what was going to happen to Epstein being unalived. I'm almost wondering if he didn't know that that was coming. That's very interesting. Let's get some what's the tea cards. What's the tea between Clarence Thomas and Jeffrey Epstein? What is the tea? What is the tea? Ugh, this deck is hard to shuffle. What's the tea between Epstein and Clarence Thomas? We have running. Okay, so I'm sure one of them or both of them are running from what's going on. Running is also running the show, running things, being in control. We have spiritual hater, hates on your spirituality, light, magic, power. I feel like this is someone who's very nefarious. I believe that, in my opinion, Clarence Thomas is like beyond evil, like dark energy, dark spirit, just harnessing darkness. I really feel like he's a special kind of evil. And it's crazy. I used to hear readers, I follow Sloan Bella. I don't listen to her as much anymore, but she's a medium. And she had mentioned, she talks a lot about like the darker spirits and how different powerful people use that dark energy. So I think I've mentioned this before in my videos, but I try to stay away from all of that dark energy because I don't want to invite it into my life. Like I am not a part of that. I don't want that. So I don't even entertain it. So I try to stay away from like the darker stuff in my readings, but I'm telling you, the feeling that I get from Clarence Thomas is that he's involved in that big time. Big time. Like if anyone has, you know, Pizzagate, if anyone's like sacrificing small children, in my opinion, it would be someone like Clarence Thomas. Okay, then we have love on the brain and screenshot, getting evidence, proof, facts. This is dreaming, fantasizing, daydreaming, nostalgic. He could be remembering the good times that he had doing those terrible things with Jeffrey Epstein. And again, with the evidence. Yes, I do feel like he was involved, and there is probably evidence or proof that he, you know, participated in some of these activities, or if he didn't participate, he was privy to some of this information. But my gut is saying, again, allegedly, that he was participating in this. Okay, so now what I want to look at is he going to be held accountable? Will he be held accountable for what he's done? You know what? I want to switch decks, you guys. Let's go to the Morgan Greer deck, one of my faves. If you guys are ever curious to know what decks I'm using, if you click on the description box down below, there is a link to my website. And on my website, I have a page that has all of the different decks that I use, as well as the deck information. So you can check that out there. Also, if you've ever been curious about having your own tarot reading, I do offer personal tarot readings. I have recorded readings and live readings. You can book those on my website as well. It's just bobbiereads.com. So you can go check that out there. Okay, so I want to know, is he going to be held accountable? Will he be held accountable? Will Clarence Thomas be held accountable? And here, hold on. And will Clarence Thomas be held accountable for the crimes he's committed, both with Jeffrey Epstein and other crimes he may have committed as a Supreme Court justice? Okay, I want to include all of it. All right. So now let's see what we have. We have the Five of Swords. We have the Page of Cups reversed. Will Clarence Thomas be held accountable for any crimes he's committed? Okay, so Five of Swords is a card that's all about conflict. It's also about profiting from something. So this is very interesting energy. Conflict tells me that there could be some infighting or some threats of, I'm going to bring this information forward. And this could be a recent thing with Ghislaine kind of popping back up into the news, and with things slowly being, revealed and released. The stuff that's being released about Trump, the letter, the birthday letter, the secrets, all of that stuff, that information had to come from somewhere. And while it can't come directly from Ghislaine, she probably has it stashed somewhere, and she's probably directing someone to release this stuff. Page of Cups reverse is being very immature. It's a frustrated energy. It's childish. He behaves in a very childish way, and he's very emotionally stunted. Okay. The Six of Pentacles is about things being out of balance and people not being generous with you. So I do think he's going to get caught. This is conquest. This is like the card of clarity, the truth coming out. So I do think the truth is going to come out, and they're not going to be generous with him. Okay, let's get some clarification here on these cards to see, is he going to be held accountable? Okay, we have Judgment that is clarifying the Five of Swords. Judgment reversed are eyes not being open, not being able to see things clearly. It can be a misinterpretation or a misreckoning. So this conflict that's happening that could lead to this could come from a misinterpretation, a misunderstanding, not being able to see things clearly, not having a clear vision of what's going on. Let's get a clarifier for the Page of Cups. We have the Four of Cups. The Four of Cups is a card of dissatisfaction, boredom. So this ties in perfectly with the Page of Cups, because this is his energy of being immature, not handling things in a good way. He is, just like I said, emotionally stunted, and his attitude is very much this like, meh, whatever, I'm bored, I'm dissatisfied. I'm going to do all of these really heinous things because I have nothing else to do, because I'm just so bored. Okay, so looking at the Six of Pentacles, people not being generous when he's being held accountable. Can we get a clarifier on this one, please? Way too many cards. One at a time, please, Spirit. Can we get a clarifier for the Six of Pentacles reversed? Again, too many. Look at all of those cards. One at a time. Okay. We have three. We're just going to take it. So we have the Two of Wands. This is making plans. Making plans for the future. Okay, people are not being generous with me, so I need to make plans. How am I going to handle this? Or this could be plans being made to bring him down. We have the government, the Hierophant. This is all about institutions. This is for this situation. This is going to be government. So there is going to be action and planning by the government to take him down. This is a disappointment. This is an offer that doesn't materialize. I'm wondering if he's been promised things like, you're never going to go down, you're going to be protected, but that's perhaps something that they couldn't promise, something that they, that they can't honor. Can we get clarification on this Ace of Swords, please? I feel like the Ace of Swords is just like chopping off his head, just like, you're done, cutting you out from the root. Okay. 2 cards for the Ace of Swords. We have the, we have the 10 of Swords, and we have the Moon. So the Moon is all about things being hidden, changes happening, a crisis of faith. And the 10 of Swords is final ending, suffering, done, you're done. I literally just said they're going to chop off his head. I didn't mean like literally chop off his head, but you know what I mean, figuratively. And then it was clarified by the 10 of Swords. So if there was a chop off your head card, it would be this one. So that's pretty clear. Okay, so I do think that there are going to be consequences for Clarence Thomas. I really do. Now, I want to see the energy of Ginny Thomas. What is going on with Clarence's wife, Ginny? She seems like she's even worse than he is. I feel my gut, we'll see in the cards. Look at that devil card. My gut is telling me that she's very much aware of everything he does, and that she's almost like, I don't know, like she's okay with it. Like she's part of it. She encourages it. I don't know why I feel like that, but I feel like she's just as dark as he is. So let's take a look at Ginny Thomas and see her energy, where she's been, where she's going. What's her deal? Temperance reverse. So she's very out of balance. She can't find the right flow, the right mix. This is a card of excess, overflow. She wants material things. She wants money. She wants clout. She wants to be, in her opinion, or in her mind, an important person. So I don't even know if she likes Clarence. I think it was more status. She wants status. That's what she's about. She wants status, money. She wants all of those things. The challenge that she faces is the Chariot reverse. She's not getting what she wants. It's turbulent. It's bumpy. She's going the wrong direction. She's not making as much progress as she had hoped that she would make. She's going the wrong way. Okay, she's going the wrong way in life. The energy that she's coming from is the Sun reversed. She's doing things in darkness. And, I talk about this too, but the Sun card, when we're looking at astrological charts, if we're looking at the natal chart of like a nation, right? The leader is always going to be represented by the Sun. I'm wondering if this isn't her interactions with some presidents. Okay, so not Biden, but I'm wondering if there's connections with like bad things with her and Trump, or if she's part of it. I almost feel like she's like almost like runs Clarence. You know what I mean? I think he's powerful and he's in charge and he has his own opinions and stuff, but I think she runs him. I think she's like, this is what we're doing. Like she's sort of the mastermind, the evil, the evil mastermind behind the entire plan. But one thing to remember about this is that what's done in the dark will eventually be brought into the light. And that could be where we're going. What's the energy of where Ginny's going? Strength reversed. Okay, strength reversed is about using brute force. And you know what's interesting, you guys? We have all major arcana cards so far. There's not a single minor arcana card in here. Major arcana cards are big themes, big energy. So her current energy, her challenge, where she's been and where she's going, these are all big, major things, okay? I would almost say we need to watch Ginny more than we need to watch Clarence. The Strength card reverse is about using brute force. It's trying to force something to happen. She is trying to force her will on every situation. She will be the last one to give up. She'll be trying. I could see like him getting in trouble for something and her just like not giving up, looking for every, way to get out of it. Just kind of shady energy. I don't know. This is just like trying to force her will on everyone and everything. What she's actively seeking is the Fool card. Look at this, another major arcana card. I'm wondering if she wants even bigger things for Clarence. It's weird. I mean, the only thing higher would be president, and I can't imagine that she would want that, but there's something that she wants. There's something that she's trying to accomplish, something that she has not been able to do before, but she's trying to do now. This is operating out of foolishness, not having all of the information. What she doesn't see coming, or what she doesn't want to acknowledge, is the Five of Cups. This is what she doesn't see coming. This is mourning, loss, heartbreak, grief. There is going to be something that happens in her life where she is going to suffer, have some heartbreak, have some grief, and have some mourning. And something interesting that I'm seeing, I've never noticed this before, but in the background, there's this tower. And I almost feel like this is the tower that's ready to fall for her. Her energy is the Four of Wands reversed. You guys, we get this in like every reading, I swear. And I always say the Four of Wands reversed is a rite of passage. And I feel like a lot of what we're seeing right now in the world is very faded. But the Four of Wands reversed is also a card of harmony. So right now, everything is going, because we're looking at her energy, she may be feeling like everything is going just fine, just the way she wants, okay? Her environment is the Nine of Swords reversed. Nine of Swords reversed is a card that talks about anxiety, being haunted, being troubled. So this is interesting, right? Because we had harmony and now we're having anxiety. I'm almost feeling like, okay, so when we look at the Four of Wands, this is a celebration, reason to celebrate. This could be like a coronation, someone being sworn into something. I'm almost feeling like Spirit saying it's the end of that. The end of that is coming because, and she feels it, that's the energy. Or maybe the energy is she's afraid of that because her environment is one of fear and anxiety. So I'm wondering if maybe they do feel the walls closing in a little bit on this situation. Her hopes or her fears are the Eight of Wands. This is wanting, Eight of Wands reversed. This is being afraid of getting bad news. She's afraid of information coming out, bad news coming out, secrets coming out. Final outcome for Ginny is the Ten of Wands. Ten of Wands is a heavy burden. It's an imposition. It's labor. She's going to have to carry a lot for the rest of her life. It is not going to be easy, but she's brought it on herself. Let's pull some What's the Tea cards for her. Let's just see what's the tea on Ginny Thomas. We have Forcer. Forces things on you, forces their way, uses force to get what they want. Remember, we were talking about Strength reversed. She's going to force this. She's using brute force to force what she wants. Then we have Creepin'. She's watching, she's scheming, she's planning, she's trying to figure out how to stay afloat, because I do think she knows the end is near. Karmic friends, can't fully trust them. Tension, secret competition, keep your friends close and your enemies closer. Are people going to turn on her and him? That may be what's going on. This is her keeping people close to the vet, or keeping people close to her so she can keep an eye on what are they doing. Okay, and let's get one more What's the Tea card for Ginny Thomas. Okay, that's way too many. One card, please, Spirit. We have Grudge Holder. Ooh, so she is mad and she is seeking some retribution. She holds a grudge. She is not happy. Ginny Thomas is not, in my opinion, for entertainment purposes only, is not a happy woman. This is interesting, you guys. Okay, I want to do final outcome for them, for both of them together, and then that will be that. So let's take a look at final outcome. We're not going to do a full spread. I'm just going to pull a few cards, but what's the destiny, the final outcome for Ginny and Clarence? Let's see here. Final outcome for them together as a couple. Final outcome for Ginny and Clarence. Okay, let's see what we can get here. Final outcome for Ginny and Clarence. Final outcome. What do you have for us, Spirit? I think I see the Hierophant behind the Empress reversed. That's too many. I'm going to leave the World there, though. So we have the Empress reversed. This is being barren. This is omitting things being omitted, being left out, not being able to give birth to your ideas not coming to fruition. This is a barren relationship. The Hierophant reversed. This is government doing things unorthodox. Government being turned on its head. I almost wonder if this isn't potentially divorce energy. Let's keep looking. The World card is completion. So that's why I'm wondering if their relationship is barren. It's going to be turned on its head. It's no longer viable, and it's a completed cycle. But let's see here. We have the Magician, and it came out sideways. Look at this. And again, major arcana cards, you guys. You guys saw me shuffle. This is big. I think Clarence Thomas is a much bigger player than we've given credit for. I think he's kind of, just kind of gone behind the scenes and no one's been paying attention to him. But this Magician card, I'm telling you, I think he has access to to either powers, people, something. I think he's dangerous for entertainment purposes only, my opinion. Let's get a clarifier for this Hierophant. Can we get a clarifier for this Hierophant? Is this divorce? Abandonment, walking away, 8 of Cups. This is literally walking away. This is, as far as I'm concerned, this looks like divorce. Okay, and then a clarifier for the World card, please, Spirit. A clarifier for the World card. That's too many. 1 card. Having to make a decision. Needing to make a decision, perhaps being at a stalemate. This could go on for a very long time. Okay? This may drag on and on and on. But I think Clarence Thomas is going to start feeling manipulated by Ginny, and I think is going to just like eventually hit his limit. This is, it's a stalemate. It's a stalemate. Maybe he wants to walk away. He wants to leave her, but they're at some kind of a weird stalemate. So he stays. But I can tell you emotionally, their relationship will end. Okay? I'm wondering if Ginny does. No, I don't think Ginny will turn on him. Let's look at that. Okay, I said this was the last spread, but I lied. Will Ginny turn on Clarence? Will she turn on him and give up information? Will Ginny turn on Clarence, Spirit? We have the 9 of Pentacles reversed. This is about having vanity, ego, dissatisfaction, not being happy. I'm not happy with how things are going. And I want justice. And there's that Hierophant again. That's interesting. I wonder if they're going to be brought up on charges and if Ginny isn't going to flip on him. If there's something weird going on, some kind of embezzlement or something. Because this is justice. This is her putting her ego and her vanity first. This is justice coming in. And this is doing things in an unorthodox way. Yeah, very interesting. We'll have to wait and see. Okay, you guys, if you like this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up on your way out. And also, if you have not yet subscribed, please consider subscribing. It's free and it's a fantastic way to help out my channel. I want to thank you guys so much for hanging out with me, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.